Now, which
yeah, we're getting there. We'll see. We'll see good thing.
Somebody here is probably
What?
interesting all the time.
you don't know. It's in that one.
Is it in that one? I don't know. If it's not, don't worry about that.
Yeah, it's one. Let's have a choir tonight. We'll do that tonight. We'll do 17 first. It's a little. Here's one of our public school songs. So. It's kind of okay.
Good evening, everybody. I am glad to see the church is kind of balanced a little bit tonight. Usually everybody's in the back of this side, so it's just good to see people sitting on this side too. No, we are certainly glad to have everyone here tonight. We're here this week for a special purpose. You know, how many of you were there when the Declaration of Independence was signed? But yet we still celebrate it every single year. Why? Because we still enjoy the same freedom that was established that day. 70 years ago today, as a matter of fact, this church had its first service. Now, I think they met in houses prior to that, but 70 years ago today, this church had its first service in this building. And yet, and how many of you were here for that? Yeah, I didn't think so. But yet, we're here tonight because of those people who were willing to step out on faith. And we're certainly here to honor them. But we're here to honor God for what He's done for this church and the people He's saved here over the years, the people He's called to preach here. Been so many things have happened. And Linda had me listening to a song last night. Said if this altar could talk, the stories it could tell, the tears that it's held, the memories and the times that we've just knelt down and just said thank you, Lord, for answering prayers. We could see that just over the 3 years that I've been here. But, you know, as we see these pictures scroll through, you know, I wanted to leave them up for a while. We'll take them down here in just a few minutes because I don't want any distractions from the preaching. But we do want you to remember these people, the ones you see that are charter members are the ones that paved the way. You know, even Jesus had somebody to pave the way for Him when John the Baptist came and was the forerunner. You know, the way must be paved. And so we thank God for them. My great papa was among them. He was, I think, the fourth pastor here, if I'm not mistaken, based on the list back in the 1950s. And now, little did he know, his great grandson would be standing in the same pulpit today, delivering, guess what? The same message that he delivered back then. The message doesn't change. Lots of things change. We're going to go through that here in just a few minutes, but one thing remains the same, and that's God. He says, I change not. Same yesterday, today, and forever. So we're going to come around and we're going to pray. Does anybody have a prayer request tonight?
Remember my family and remember my days.
Remember all the lost.
Remember this guy I work with, they had a baby on Friday, and it has some they think there's a 50-50 chance it has some sort of genetic something, and they told them that if it, to wake it up every 3 to 4 hours because it did not wake up, whatever's wrong with it. So don't pray that God will change that baby. When they test it, it won't be there.
Let's remember those that would be here if they could. I know Judy would be sitting back there if she could, but she's in the nursing home tonight. Not only her, but there are others that are sick and not able to be here. So let's do pray for them as well.
Maybe with Gary Calhoun's wife, her issues that called up and said it probably about 3 to 6 months.
We know several families that have lost loved ones recently too. Let's remember those families.
I met 2 ladies yesterday. I went in for a walk and we were inside the store. And they were going through a rough time. I don't know who they were. They just came up and started talking to me. And just remember one of them, I know that she said that her daughter died at 22 years old and that she's trying to raise a pregnant. So she's not in good health. So she did ask me to pray for her. The other one was just, I don't know what was going on. She didn't say anything. So let's just pray for each and every one. That's the way I pray for each other.
Any unspoken requests? All that can and will. The altar's been open for 2,000 years, so and here for 70. So let's use it. Brother Daniel, would you lead us in prayer tonight?
Our most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for this day. Pray, Lord, this evening, this one, Lord, these questions that they I pray we look to the Lord. Celebrate Lord, and all the Lord, for all of us, Jesus. I pray that Lord, for your family, I ask you, God, our Lord, God, your presence, I have kindness, Lord, God, shine, will not force you, Lord, will not do this, all today on our God will. We pray for God, for all these things we have made.
In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Let me put the PowerPoint up. I thought it would be fun just to kind of see some things that were going on in 1947. Because 1947, I mean, we'd just come out of World War II, a couple years before that. A lot of things have changed since then. And I just thought it might be a little fun to start out that way tonight. But, you know, like I said, some things haven't changed. And that's the message that is preached then is still as true as it was back then, is still true today. And guess what? If we go another 70, we go another 7,000, that word's not going to change. It's already written down in stone. So I just thought we'd take a look at this. And you know, it's always fun. You go to these places. I think Cracker Barrel sometimes has these cards, or different places has these cards. If you go on to the next slide there. A car. We just bought a car. It was slightly more than $1,500. Okay. Gasoline, 23 cents a gallon. How in the world could they afford to fill it up? Now it fluctuates that much in a day, doesn't it? Bread, 12 cents for a loaf of bread. Milk, 80 cents a gallon. Actually, that was kind of pricey, to be quite honest. Postage stamp. It cost 3 cents to send something from here all the way to California. Stock market was at 181. Now, if you don't know what it is today, we'll get to the next slide. The average annual salary was $3,500. How many of us could survive on that today for a year? And the minimum wage was 40 cents an hour. So go to the next slide. Let's see how things have changed a little bit. A car now, average price of a car from $1,500 to $33,000. Gasoline from 23 cents a gallon to $2.34 a gallon. A house that would cost you $13,000 then will now cost you $186,000. Milk is up to $3.30 a gallon as opposed to 80 cents. A postage stamp now costs 49 cents. Do the math. That's quite a few times more than it used to be. Stock market, where it was at 181, is now well over 20,000. Annual salary from 3,500 to 48,000. And I know there's a lot of people that'd be like, well, I wish I could make up to the average, you know. Minimum wage is from 40 cents an hour to $7.25, and you know they're talking about raising that even farther now. So things have certainly changed. Let's look at the next slide just really quick. Only 48 states then. Remember, we added Alaska and Hawaii in 1959, I believe it was. So the flag was different than here in the United States. Donald Trump, we just voted him in as president. He was turning 1 year old when this church was, he was getting ready to turn 1 year old. He had not even turned 1 year old when this church had its first service. Hillary Clinton